My friend and I recently got some lights. We got the Nanlite tube lights, and I also have an Aputure 300D Mark II, and he also has some Amran lights. And so we were thinking how we can use those lights, like put it to good use and see if we can shoot something that looks really high budget with the entry-level equipment that we have. Granted, we are shooting the video on a Sony FX3, so the equipment that we are using still does not match up to what is used for high budget commercials like an ARRI camera, ARRI lights, those big HMIs that they use to shoot like high budget commercials. But we still wanted to see if we can put what we have together to create something that looks really beautiful.
Come here, boy. Come on. You freaky dog. I don't need to analyze. Every word that comes out is a lie. Make it look like it's so ice. You won't make it to the finish line. Now if you gotta know the truth, was gonna let you go. You was fine, never mind, unpredictable. Fade out of the ground, you ain't no one. You a star, blow it up like supernova. In the nighttime, hit my hotline. Sharing secrets, you wish really was part your life. Basic bullies. Does your wife know you're begging for my notice?
Andrew, walk us through what's happening.
So for our first scene, we're shooting on the Sony FX3, and we've got two key lights, one for our main subject and then the second for our model. And then we've got an edge light on the back side, which is back illuminating her. And then we've got this other fill light for our model. And just for some dramatic feel to the video, we have the Aputure 300D, which is also connected to a snoot, casting a streak of light to add texture to the subject. So we're basically going to show you how all of this works by turning each light on individually, just so you see how the build-up actually works. This is the first frame with no lights. The only light coming in is the ambient light from the window. So we're now going to build the scene by adding light. So the first light that we're adding is the room light. And these are the spotlights turned on now.
Usually when you're filming indoors and then there are artificial lights present in your scene, you want to make sure that they have high quality so that they don't flicker. If they're flickering, it doesn't make the shot look appealing. It becomes a sort of distraction. But luckily, these two lights that we had in the apartment were of high quality, and so they were not flickering. That is also one thing I want to draw your attention to. So we had two of those, one here and then one just behind here in the back over there.
And then the second light we're going to add is the snoot. Then we're going to add some more detail to the subject by turning on the Aputure MC.
The good thing about the power of cinema is that sometimes you can really hide certain things, especially when it's not showing in your frame. So because we had set our camera and choosing where we wanted our filming angle to be from, we're able to strategically add in other lights that will not necessarily be visible in the shot, but will play a very key role. And he mentioned that we were using the Aputure MC light, and the light is just over here. We place it on top of a battery, and its job is just to add a bit of illumination onto the products that we had over here. And because of the size of the light, we're able to bring it as close as possible without really interfering with our frame.
And then the next light is the key light for the food subject. And then the second key light for the model. And just to make the scene look a little bit more interesting, we're just going to add some practical lights that you should see turning on in the next couple of seconds. And then the last is the fill light for the model.
Okay, so we did all of this set up just for one scene where she's just grabbing the can. And this is everything going on for that. But how many scenes do you think we have to shoot?
I'll probably say about 3 or 4 max, 4 scenes.
Okay, and I hope it's going to go a little bit faster then. It's on you. I want everybody to see that. We came here at 12 and we are starting at 5. Anyways, okay. So what's she doing for this one?
So she's basically just going to reach out for the can, and that's where the scene cuts.
Okay.
The next one.
Okay. Is there a reason why you're just keeping it on a tripod instead of, adding movement or something?
So for a shot like this, first of all, we're shooting on a very wide lens. So if there's any movement in camera, it can kind of disrupt exactly how we want it to go. So I just decided that it should be on a tripod, and then we can add movement in post-production later on.
Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we've been able to successfully capture our first scene after how many tries? Okay, so what we're going to do next is now just do a shot of her scooping the tomato paste from the can. So we're going to rearrange the lighting, figure out what's going to work.
That's the minimum. I'm done with this trash. Talk to me critical. Show me your mental state before we get physical. Pour some water in your cup, let it drip, drip, drip. Now look straight into my eyes, then you sip, sip, sip. It's about
So since it's nighttime now, basically we wanted to kind of mimic what the daylight was like. So we have the 300D with a snoot on it, casting the light to mimic daylight, as you can see where the fruit stack is. And we have the C stand holding the tube light, which is our main key light. So that's the lighting setup for this particular frame.
I'll show how freaky you are. I see it when you walk my way. Let's be bad, come and play with me. Freak it up. Got a whole lot of love for my dog. Freak it up. Got a whole lot of love for my dog. Freak it up. Got a whole lot of love for my dog.
We're going to move on to the next scene, which is basically the tasting. But since her face is going to be showing a lot more, we are basically doing some basic touch-ups on the makeup. And then we're actually going to be lighting her with a huge softbox, just so it's a little bit more flattering. So for this final shot, since it's nighttime, we decided to boom the Aputure 300D outside to come through the window. So the light you're seeing coming from the window is actually fake, but it's supposed to mimic daylight. And we have our key light with another layer of diffusion just to soften the light and make it more flattering for this hero shot. And we have an edge light that is basically separating her from the background, so at least she looks more vivid. Then we have like a little touch of detail where we put in the Aputure MC just to light up that little area where the fruit basket is, so at least there is some attention going there. So that basically wraps up the whole lighting setup with this particular shot.